Thank you, sirs. The students of the University of Fine Arts College are known for the soulful rendering of the invocation as they are trained in classical music by their respected learned teachers. This chorus singing is rendered by Sumedhini, Ms. ML, Ms. Ashwini K, Ms. Archishmati S, and Sudhanma ML. They are going to present Sharada Stuti at the beginning. Thank you for your soulful rendering of the invocation. Guided by the festival patrons, Professor Jagat Bhushan Nagga, Director, CEC, Consortium for Educational Commission, Professor G. Hemant Kumar, Vice Chancellor of University of Mysore, and Festival Coordinator Dr. Sunil Nehru, Joint Director Software CEC, the Organizing Secretary Professor H. Rajashekhar, who is also the Director of EMRC University of Mysore, has galvanized his rich experience of playing a vital role in the centenary celebrations to make this event a memorable one too. The architect of the centenary celebrations of our university in 2016, the former Vice Chancellor Professor K.S. Rangappa, an eminent scientist of India, is very much present here. Trained in commerce, Professor Rajashekhar has proved his credentials in guarding the finances, keeping in mind the adage, a rupee saved is a rupee earned. Now I request Professor Rajashekhar, the Organizing Secretary, and also the Director of EMRC University of Mysore, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning to all of you. Honorable Governor and respected dignitaries on the dais, delegates, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. The annual event of Educational Video Competition and Prakriti Documentary Film Festival is organized by Consortium for Educational Communication, New Delhi, every year at different avenues around the country. This time, the competition has traveled to EMRC Mysore to dedicate its synergy and offerings to the region. This 23rd Educational Video Competition and Prakriti International Documentary Film Festival 2021 is being organized from 24th November to 27th November here in our university. The goal of this mega event is to spread awareness and sensitize the masses on issues like environment, development, human rights, and Swachh Bharat. It also provides a larger canvas to paint the footprints on the educational aspects of equity, ethics, and ecology. To inaugurate this 4 days mega event, we have with us the chief guest, Sri Arif Muhammad Khan, the Honorable Governor, Kerala State, Kerala. The Honorable Governor is well known for his philanthropic works throughout his career. Meeting people, solving and mitigating their problems has been his daily routine work. Apart from his compassion, he is an academician, a writer, and an able administrator. We are indeed fortunate to have him here. Sir, on behalf of CEC New Delhi and EMRC University of Mysore, and on my own behalf, I extend a very warm welcome to you. Thank you, sir, for being with us. Today's keynote speaker is our beloved Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor G. Hemant Kumar. He is one of the greatest visionaries in the field of higher education and good administrator. He is the first Vice Chancellor in the state of Karnataka to accept the new education policy, and that is being implemented very systematically and effectively in the University of Mysore. Sir, on behalf of CEC and EMRC and on my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Today, we have another illustrious scholar amidst of us who has the distinction of being appointed Professor in Management at the young age of 37 years and has since worked as a guest faculty in 8 different reputed universities and institutions of high standing across the country. Professor Jagat Bhushan Nadda, who has taken over the charge of post of Director CEC, is an accomplished academician and administrator with a human touch. Professor Nadda has been kind enough to provide us this opportunity to organize the film festival at Mysore. The memory of first festival, which was held in 2012, is still fresh in our mind. On behalf of EMRC, University of Mysore, and on my own behalf, I extend a warm, very heartfelt thanks and welcome to Professor Nanda sir. Another key person who has been working shoulder to shoulder with Professor Nanda sir at CEC New Delhi is Dr. Sunil Mehru, Joint Director. Sir, with great pleasure, I welcome you. I wish to extend a very warm welcome to the respected dignitaries like Professor Avinash C. Pandey, Director, IUAC, New Delhi, Professor Rajneesh Srivastava, Additional Director, CEC, and all directors from various EMRCs across the country, former Honorable Vice Chancellors of our university, the Registrar Evaluation of Finance Officer of our university, syndicate and academic council members, directors and chairpersons of various departments, all other technical and administrative staff from UGC and CEC, New Delhi, media people, and all other invitees to this inaugural function. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for welcoming the guests and the chief guests. Now, the next program on the agenda is felicitation to our chief guest, Sri Arif Muhammad Khan, Honorable Governor of Kerala. Sri Arif Muhammad Khan, today's chief guest and Honorable Governor of Kerala, has rich experience in public life. He became the member of Legislative Assembly in UP at the tender age of 26, nearly half a century ago. A senior political personality who has served public affairs for many decades. He is a former union minister and has held several portfolios ranging from energy to civil aviation. He has never swerved from one single focus amidst the onerous responsibility of public life, that is, writing and scholarship. A book entitled Text and Context, Quran and Contemporary Challenges has become a bestseller. His major area of interest is Islam and Sufism. Now I request the organizers, first, the director CEC, and along with his colleagues, he is going to felicitate our chief guest today. I request Professor Jagat Bhushan Nanda, Director CEC, and also Dr. Sunil Mehru, Joint Director, Software CEC, to felicitate the chief guest. The University of Mysore is greatly honored by the presence of this great personality in our midst, and I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor G. Hemant Kumar, to felicitate our chief guest. Dr. Sunil Mehru, media professional, ICT policy planner and designer, has immense experience in crafting professional communication by experimenting and implementing innovative learning pedagogies to ensure optimal use of ICT in dissemination of education. He has organized several workshops and trainings in mass communication. He has won many awards for his documentary films. Dr. Mehru is festival coordinator for Prakriti International Film Festival and CEC UGC video competition. I request Dr. Sunil Mehru, the Joint Director of Software CEC, to give a brief about the festival.
Good morning to all. Honorable Governor Sir, Honorable Director of CEC, Professor Jagat Bhushan Natta Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, University of Mysore, Professor Hemanta Sir, Professor Raj Shekhar, Director MRC Mysore, distinguished guests and dear friends. I would like to briefly highlight the salient features of the educational video competition and the Prakriti International Documentary Film Festival. Friends, since 1988, the educational video competition is being organized by CEC to nurture, encourage, and recognize technical excellence in the field of educational video production. The event reaches out to educational institutions, UMRC, individual producers, directors, and media houses in the country. This unique event is organized on a large scale to promote enhancement in the quality of educational content. CEC annually organizes the Prakriti International Documentary Film Festival to encourage the filmmakers, film enthusiasts, and to make the youth aware of issues like environment, development, human rights, and Swachh Bharat. The first Prakriti Festival was organized in 1997, and since then it is planned as an annual event that congregates filmmakers, students, academicians, administrations, development workers, and media to come together and appreciate the artistic journey of documentary film, promoting awareness, appreciation, and action. Prakriti Festival is a move towards a broad alliance of people working on the educational aspects of equity, ethics, ecology, and hygiene. CEC received overwhelming response from the filmmakers, and total 137 entries were received for the educational video competition, while the Prakriti International Film Festival received 97 entries. During the educational video competition, 12 films will be screened, and in the Prakriti International Documentary Film Festival, 7 documentaries will be screened for sensitizing the students and other stakeholders. Friends, I welcome you all to join us in this celebration of the artistic journey of documentaries and filmmaking. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for giving the brief about the festival. It is very rarely that an alumnus of a university serves as an academic and finally heads the university as its vice chancellor. Professor Hemant Kumar belongs to such an exceptional group of scholars who guide their own alma mater as the head. Basically, a computer scientist, Professor Hemant Kumar is assigning equal importance to both science and humanities, as he knows that higher education needs to nurture the entire gamut of human knowledge. We are the beneficiaries of this intellectual magnanimity. Now I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor G. Hemant Kumar, to deliver the keynote address.
Honorable Governor of Kerala, Sri Hari Ahmed Khan, Professor Jagat Bhushan Nadda, Director Consortium for Education Communication, Dr. Sunil Nehru, Joint Director Software CEC, Professor H. Rajshekhar, Director AMRC, all documentary film fraternity, participants, resource persons, member of syndicate and academic council of University of Mysore, and former vice chancellors, Professor Rangappa, Professor A. Hegde, S.N. Hegde, and all other former vice chancellors and staff of our university, both teaching and non-teaching, guests, invitees, and members of the media. It is indeed a great honor and privilege that 23rd UDC CEC Educational Video Competition and Prakriti International Documentary Festival is taking place in our university at present. There was a temporary setback for all our activities due to the corona pandemic. Now, there is a respite from its clutches. Therefore, we have redoubled our work and renewed with vigor and enthusiasm. The Consortium for Educational Communication has been conducted such festivals annually. We are indeed happy that our university is chosen to showcase the 23rd edition. As Professor Jagat Bhushan Nadda, Director CEC, has been clear, in the two-day event will surely witness the enthusiastic and participation from film fraternity and learners and other stakeholders like academicians and practitioners. According to CEC, what is important is selected films and documentaries should ensure the formulation of the potential solutions for challenges related to educational program production. Educational video competition will yield a rich crop of excellent films and documentaries. It is up to us to reap the benefit into the larger interest of the populace. Because ultimately, our educational and academic endeavors must benefit to our society. I have gone through the rights of provided for the films and documentaries, such as Calcutta Sonata, a light that diffuses to the fade up, and how does the soap works, Kumudini, a water lily chronicle, and Valley of the Goats, and how trees drinks the water, to name few. All these productions are bring out that the truth that we need to observe in the nature and natural phenomena with keen eye to understand its working. Normally, we take many things for granted, owing familiarity. We break the film of familiarity and penetrate to discern the inner working of the things. The common man will understand how the nature functions as important as nature, as the human nature. There is amply established documentary, The Ray That Refuses to Die, in which we have a story of 101 years old lady, Aruna Mukherjee, who shows exemplary determination in following in her instincts of living life on her own terms, and resilient spirit and inspiration for numerous women. Equally interesting, our own Kamegoda, at the age of 83 old years shepherd in our neighborhood, who construct the ponds and the check dams as he saw the need to create them for grazing the animals. Such stories surely will set an example for others to follow. Our younger generations, people appears to be rootless and lost as they are chasing the mirages of the success. Pursuing the success itself is not wrong, but successful to be is not to be all and end all in all the existence. The India there is a crime that is the opposite of the emphasis on science in our academia is at the cost of humanities and liberal arts. Films and documentaries are both science and art. It is a happy combination of both the faculties. In fact, there is a need, there should not be any barrier between science and art as they are the product of the same human endeavor. We are in the amidst of the rich crops of brilliant producers and also film people, and we can expect real flowering talents from them. It is indeed a great honor that the Honorable Governor of Kerala, Sri Arif Muhammad Khan, is in our university as a chief guest. I am sure he is going to be greatly benefited by his rich experience of the public life and remedies he is going to offer very much for the challenges that we are facing by the academia as well as the public sphere. The presence of Sunil Nehru and Professor Jagat Bhushan Nadda will make the difference as they are the guidance, will lend the meaning and significance to this very important pursuit. I take this opportunity to congratulate all the winners and wish the entire film fraternity for the great success in future endeavors. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Professor Jagat Bhushan Nadda, Director of Consortium of Educational Communication, CEC. He became Professor of Management at the young age of 37 because of his scholarship and erudition. He has been requested by a number of universities in our country to guide them in the relevant field. An alumnus of Patna and Ranchi University, Professor Nadda has been a recipient of university's Best Teacher Awards. He has also been awarded gold medals several times in his academic career. He is yoking all the wealth of his experience to take CEC to a higher level of functioning. It's a privilege to have him amidst us today. Now I request Professor Jagat Bhushan Nadda, Director CEC, to address the gathering.
Honorable Governor of Kerala, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Madras, EMRC directors, distinguished filmmakers, experts, enthusiasts from across the country, ladies and gentlemen. It is a matter of immense pleasure and honor for us to have Honorable Governor of Kerala, Shri Arif Muhammad Khanji, amongst us as a distinguished chief guest. We all are extremely thankful for his benevolent and inspirational presence here in this event. Friends, I'm glad to see the enthusiasm and your participation in such a unique documentary and educational video festival organized by CEC in partnership with EMRC, University of Mysore. This festival is an attempt to create ICT-enabled learning environment in the country and to not only create awareness, understanding, and sensitize people on various social issues like environment, development, human rights, and Swachh Bharat, but also to meet the present-day challenges of changing countries' ICT-based learning landscape. Friends, as we all know, today, with the boom of information technology, the linear media of traditional paper books learning is considered less efficient in terms of storing and delivering of new knowledge. The new avatar of digital media not only has the advantage in terms of capacity, but also has the convenience of anytime, anywhere. Learning as a visual and graphic-rich content fortifies and simplifies the learning process. While the traditional paradigm in pedagogy considered the visual media as profane and mostly entertainment-oriented, with time, the storytelling of ideas and knowledge has transformed in eternity. During the event, I'm sure you shall see how the visual and digital media can be effectively engaged in learning with creativity. We at CC encourage development of innovative learning pedagogies and make constant efforts to ensure education for all. Contributing towards the implementation of National Education Policy 2020 and to further the cause of Digital India, CC's Prakriti and educational video competition bring together filmmakers, students, media professionals, and academicians across areas and create a holistic ICT-enabled learning environment by telling their stories. It helps to inspire, motivate, build empathy, and share problems that enables us to find and share solutions together. Hence, this festival is not just a way to tell stories, but to bring about fundamental change in how people navigate in dire knowledge liberalism in the world towards a better education and better tomorrow. Friends, as you might be aware, that CC, the organization behind this unique festivals, is one of the pioneers in the field of multimedia and digital education. It is also one of the largest repositories of digital content, perhaps in Asia. CEC, along with the CMRCs, is playing a larger role in realizing the national education policy, which underlines new priorities, aspirations, and new digital literate and tech-savvy generation of learners of present times. We have to adapt and reorient ourselves to a new mechanics of training and learning that is happening on the digital plane. However, while we engage in the learning process in a new technology digital fashion, our priorities of education are firmly rooted in the holistic view of education, as emphasized by Swami Vivekananda when he says, we want that education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, the intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand one's own feet. And this brings us to holistic education and the accorded significance to it in ancient education system. We are glad to share that CC is carrying that legacy and philosophy of our knowledge houses of the ancient times, Takshila and Nalanda. We at CC are creating a modernized, multidisciplinary, holistic digital learning environment as also envisioned in New Education Policy 2020, so that we contribute towards the making of a self-reliant or Atmanirbhar Bharat. Not only is CC disseminating free of cost digital education content, which on its YouTube channel and free-to-air DTH channels, CC is also developing digital educational content in sign language for the hearing impaired. I'm also glad to say that CC is translating its entire digital educational repository in 12 regional languages of India. We are working towards the vision of our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, who quoted that we have witnessed since decades that for quality education, our students went beyond the borders. And the NEP students from outside India will come here and the best institutes will also open their doors in India. In pursuit of our goal, this festival has traveled across the country to places such as Hyderabad, Pune, Bhopal, Goa, Pondicherry, Jodhpur, Tripura, Mysore, Calicut, Kolkata, and Chennai. This is the same time happening in March. And its journey of digital education. Enjoy the story and thank you so much.
From ancient Bharat to modern India, education has always occupied a place of prominence in Indian culture and tradition. Nalanda, Taxila, and Vikramshila, the world-famous centers for learning, were the epitome of such education and attracted students from the remotest corners of the planet. Ancient India has given the world wisdom, yoga, Ayurveda, and classical art forms. And today, CEC, Consortium for Educational Communication, has stepped forward to build a digital learning environment to emulate the ancient Indian education system, to provide quality-enriched educational resources integrated with human values and culture on digital platforms to the remotest learners. CEC was established in the year 1993 as a pioneer of digital education in the country to address the issues related to higher education. CEC is the national coordinator for SWAYAM MOOCs and 11 SWAYAM Prabha DTA channels to address higher education needs through digital media, to take education to the remotest learner. CEC has its 21 educational multimedia research centers, EMRCs, spread across the length and breadth of the country, with more than 500 trained workforce, state-of-the-art equipment, and infrastructure. Besides owning the largest digital educational content repository in Asia, CEC has more than 16,000 enrichment videos spread across 74 subjects, approximately 24,000 e-courseware modules, over 19,000 short learning objects, 4,000 live and recorded lectures, and over 1,078 massive open online courses on the SWAYAM platform. CEC has created e-courseware modules based on the UGC model curriculum, moving towards CBCS compliance, developed by Pan-India subject experts, and validated and certified through a two-stage peer review process. It is a complete learning package containing question banks with MCQs and assignments, providing instant assessment of learning outcome. It can be accessed free of cost. CEC has developed approximately 24,000 e-content courseware in 87 undergraduate subjects, covering 4 knowledge streams: art, culture, language, and literature, social sciences, natural and applied sciences, and management and other professional courses. CEC's YouTube channel has recorded a footfall of over 4.2 lakh subscribers, with more than 4 crore video views, equivalent to 399 years of watch time, with top 5 viewing countries across the globe being India, Pakistan, USA, Nepal, and UK. CEC's digital content can be integrated with traditional pedagogy through blended and flipped learning, short learning objects to teach concepts, portable e-content, video on demand through CEC web portal, subject-based content provided locally through LAN. CEC's undergraduate and postgraduate MOOCs are hosted and accredited by various educational institutions pan-India. India has the second largest higher education system in the world. However, our higher education system has its own share of challenges, like low growth education sector, scarcity of faculty, infrastructure, and facilities, redundancy in teaching practices, various socio-economic and geographic barriers, high cost of higher education, learning habits and abilities, universities in production mode, lack of opportunities to pursue interests. Here, CEC has the capacity to address these challenges by carrying out online content activities which include design, development, and dissemination of digital educational content, running e-courses, and conducting proper online examinations through National Testing Agency, NTA. So far, CEC has issued 19,368 course credit certificates in partnership with SWAYAM and various post-universities for SWAYAM MOOCs examination. Further, CEC has begun developing educational content in 12 regional languages to increase the accessibility and reach of its online learning resources to the rural populace of India. Moreover, to create ICT-based learning environment in the country, for the first time, CEC's Prakriti Documentary and Film Festival has gone international in the year 2018. The festival aims at creating awareness and sensitizing people about issues like environment, development, and the human rights. The Swachh Bharat category was added for the first time at the festival. This event receives overwhelming entries from participants across the world, and CEC organizes its Edu2 and Edu-Right competition annually since 2018 on various themes of digital education. Every year, the educational video competition is organized by CEC, which converges students, filmmakers, and experts from all over India. At CEC, we empower people with the power of knowledge.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful film through animation. Our chief guest, the Honorable Governor of Kerala, Shri Arif Muhammad Khan, has kindly inaugurated the 23rd CEC Education Competition and Prakriti International Documentary Film Festival. In India, we need people of wisdom and vision to lead us to face unanticipated challenges in our complex society. The chief guest, Shri Arif Muhammad Khan, is such a stalwart who can lead us in a proper path. Now I request the Honorable Chief Guest to address the gathering.
Professor Dr. Jagat Bhushan Danda, Director, Consortium for Education and Communication, Professor G. Hemanta Kumar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Mysore, Dr. Sunil Mehu, Joint Director, CEC, Professor H. Rajshekhar, Director, Educational Multimedia Research Center, dear faculty and fellow students, young filmmakers, Abhish Siddhi Rastu, which means wish all of you very best. I am absolutely delighted to inaugurate the Prakriti International Documentary Festival and the UGC CEC Educational Video Festival organized by Consortium for Educational Communication. The CEC is perhaps the largest debate repository in which the CEC is one of the autonomous inter-university centers set up in 1993 by University Grants Commission as a nodal agency at the national level to address educational needs of the country through the use of various digital modes of communication. The CEC, I believe, is operating through 21 media centers located in different universities which produce digital educational content. In order to promote excellence in educational digital content, CEC had to spread awareness about environment, ecology, human rights, and Swachh Bharat. It is for these spread awareness about these objectives that they organize this festival every year. I am informed that many award-winning documentaries under various categories from across the globe are going to be screened in this festival. It is my pleasant duty to congratulate the recipients of the awards, and I hope that they will not look upon these awards as a culmination of their artistic work, but take it as a hope which the CEC has that they will go forward with their creative work. For me, this is the first opportunity to visit Mysore University, which is one of the oldest, number 6 in the country, set up in 1916, the first university in Karnataka and first university, not only in Karnataka, but first university in an area outside British India. This university, although I am visiting for the first time, but as a, I have certain fondness about this university. And whenever I use this phrase, and I used it quite often, I always mention the source of this beautiful phrase, which was coined by a former Vice Chancellor of this university. subject Prakriti Nasi, the second vice chancellor of this university, and a college dean of Swami Vivekananda, wrote a famous book titled The Positive Sciences of Ancient Hindus, in which he used this phrase, which is actually an echo of Shankaracharya's commentary on a shlok of Bhagavad Gita on Atma, which the words that Shankaracharya has used are Pura Api Navdevi Purana, which means, though ancient, it is always fresh, it is always new. So India is ancient, but India is not old. It is ever refreshing itself. It is always new. And how it is always refreshing itself, renewing itself, it is through you. Every coming generation that brings new ideas, new thinking, and new approach that ancient India renews and refreshes itself. I am indeed grateful, and these are not formal words, genuinely grateful to Professor Jagat Bhushan Nadda, Director of CEC, for his invite and giving me this opportunity to visit this great temple of learning, which has produced so many luminaries who have contributed immensely in our national life. Professor J.P. Nadda is an accomplished academician and administrator who has rendered his services, as it was pointed out earlier, in 8 universities and institutes of higher learning. We are meeting at a time when the work of Consortium for Education Communication has attained greater significance in the light of the new educational policy of 2020 and the new normal brought in by COVID-19. I was listening to a lecture by famous professor of history, Yuval Noah Harari, whose 3 books have become, they have achieved phenomenal success. In his lecture, he was saying that the Jerusalem University had taken the decision to go digital in 2010, and they had the infrastructure, they had the capability to go digital, but on one excuse or the other, the matter, the decision was not really. And then he said that when the emergency was imposed by COVID-19, within a period of 4 months, the decision which was taken in 2010 was implemented within a period of 4 months. I am happy that our UGC had this futuristic vision. They had set up this organization a long time ago. But now, and then the new policy of education has also come. And then along with this pandemic. So I am sure that Professor Nadda and his colleagues, they have already the pace at which they are working. I am sure, confident that they will produce enough digital educational content which is needed by the country. The integration of technology in almost all spheres of higher education has made availability of digital content easy and is absolutely vital to the making education more accessible and less expensive. As we all know, the national educational policy reposes immense trust in institutions verified to know that the consortium has already moved along with the requirements of the national education policy by empowering the physically challenged persons, especially the hearing impaired, by developing sign language enabled video lectures. The progress made by the consortium in recent times indicates the victory of the spirit of self-reliance against the disruption in education caused by COVID-19. The details about the 33 Swayam Prabha direct-to-home PTA channels and other details, the MOOC courses, they have already been given by previous speakers, particularly Shri Nanda himself. Therefore, I am not going to go into those details. But I hope that their efforts will result in making the digitally enabled educational endeavors of our universities to attain the goal of any time, anywhere learning, and any time, anywhere examinations. I suggest that the consortium should identify, inspire, and hold at least 2 universities in every state to attain this goal. The need to be future ready cannot be overstated. We are living in a fast changing world where we often find, we see people beautifully equipped with conventional education, conventional knowledge to deal with a world that does not exist anymore. Today, it is the innovators, people with new ideas, those who are devoted to push boundaries. It is they who embrace success. Therefore, we need to think intensively, we need to think critically, and apply the knowledge and skills that we have acquired to deal successfully with the problems that we are facing and we are likely to face in future. The Prakriti Film Festival and Educational Video Festival attain great relevance in the context of increasing importance of digitally enabled education. We live in a world where the moving images are with us, always and everywhere. Our knowledge of the world can be seen both in and through them. Pictures explain the world and influence our ethical and normative ideas. They are used for communication. For students and others, images are not only moving pictures of reality, they are an essential means of self-expression. The world has always been in need of great teachers. and greater access to education. The educational films and documentaries have the potential to bring the world to students in very real ways. Here I would like to recall an anecdote from our tradition highlighting the importance of imparting education through the medium of storytelling. And the films admittedly have tremendous potential to make the narratives more impactful. The anecdote is that one day, Muni Narad came to visit Vyas in them. When Narad came to him, then Vyas looked very pensive. And Narad asked him why he was looking so anxious. Vyas said that he has spent so much energy, so much time, and has compiled all these books of wisdom, but he is deeply disappointed to see that people are not ready to benefit from these sources. Narad told him that your books they are profoundly philosophical, and they are beyond the comprehension of ordinary men. Therefore, if you want them to benefit from your works, reduce them into the form of stories. And we are told that a book like Mahabharata is the result of that conversation between Narad and Vyas. In recent times, Einstein has also said the same thing. He said, if you want your children to become wise, read them stories. If you want them to become more wise, then read them more stories. This can help us to understand the power of visual media to impart learning through innovative methods of conveying profound subjects through simple, coherent narrations. Our content producers, both the students and teachers, can take a cue from this traditional wisdom to make their documents more impactful. The students will get an idea. The students will get an idea about the emerging world of educational content, which is being made richer day by day through scholarly addition and improvement. For the faculty, the documentaries made by the youth, I hope, would provide insights into the attitudes, tastes, and sensibilities of changing times, which would help them to improve their production in future. I would also like to compliment you for highlighting the importance of environment and other related issues because it is absolutely essential that the kind of threats which the environment and climate is facing today, it needs immediate attention, and awareness must be created in the mind of young people. Finally, I would like to use a popular quote which says that eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. I would like to say that this is equally true to prevent any mental or moral decay or the breakdown of the traditional disciplines. If people and political establishment to safeguard the moral and ethical values of the nation. And I am so glad that our Vice Chancellor in his presentation, he has touched upon this subject. If there is an interruption in the transmission of these skills and values which have come down to us from the ages past, the purpose of the university is not well served. It is necessary, therefore, that universities must encourage the traditional moral and ethical values. It is our duty to ensure that basic Indian cultural values are properly assimilated and internalized by the students and made a part of their very being. The ancient tradition does not acknowledge mere literacy or knowledge as education. It holds that the real aim and purpose of education is to create people who have wisdom informed by empathy and compassion. Our tradition says that for a truly educated person, for a truly civilized being, there is only one joy in life. Eko karuna, eko rasa, karuna eva. Those who are learned but do not possess compassion and love, they run the risk of degenerating themselves into wild brutes. Their attitudes and actions are often marked by intellectual arrogance, spiritual crassness, and coldness of heart. Saksharo vipri tatve rakchaso bhavati dhruva. On the other hand, a person with a sense of compassion will develop a chastity of mind and spirit and approach with inner trembling another sanctuary. The knowledge which has no equal, as your university motto says, Nahi Gyani Sadirsha, is the knowledge that inculcates love and compassion. And this is not my interpretation. The book from where you have taken your motto, it emphatically proclaims Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastani Shuni Jai Shwapate Cha Pandita Samdarshina. The knowledge is the knowledge that gives you, makes you aware that it is the same spirit which dwells in a humble, educated person. The same spirit dwells in the cow, in the elephant, in the dog, and the dog eater too. This equanimity, this equipoise, that is absolutely necessary to liberate you from the base feelings of envy, hatred, arrogance, bias, prejudice, and will create same-sightedness in you, and which comes only as a result of cultivating empathy and compassion. With these words, I give you my best wishes and hope that the teachers and the students of this university will find in your motto a purpose greater than your whole life and live for it. And I am extremely grateful to Honorable Vice Chancellor, other staff of the teachers of the university, the students, for the kind of welcome with which you have received me. I am indeed grateful. And once again, I would like to thank Professor Nadda, his deputy, and all the people who have organized this event, and those makers of the films and documentaries whose films and documentaries are going to be screened. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will all agree with me when I say that every word spoken by the chief guest on this occasion is worth its weight in gold. We are indeed grateful to you, sir, for your words of wisdom. Now, national anthem. I request the members of the audience to keep standing while our honored guests depart from the hall. We are also making an announcement. Kindly listen for the photo session with this great scholar and statesman, the directors, media, technical staff and producers, production assistant, technical assistants, CEC officials and EMRC officials are requested to assemble at the front of this hall to have the photo session with our honored guest and the Governor of Kerala, Shri Arif Mohammed.